And I don't know you well enough. I don't know who is not tenacious enough. Even in this room of winners, I know some of you have hit your cap. You're good. You're not hungry anymore. You hit a thing and you're like, now you're in neutral. You're like, this is a good number, this is where I'm at. And for many times, for good reasons. You feel like you didn't have the right work-life balance. You do have 15 and 16-year-old kids and you're like, wait a minute, they're about to go to college in 2 minutes. Maybe you're tired, there's a million reasons. But I think that's why number 2 means so much to me. Lying to yourself is the quickest way to lose. And I'm stunned how good we are at it. And when I think about talks like this, like in this exact nanosecond, I'm like, man, if one person is listening right now in this room and decides to go to their hotel room tonight, look them in the face and stop lying about something they're not good at in this or even their personal life, that's how you that's what therapy does. That's what real stuff does. And I'm telling you, I challenge you to understand, especially in the framework of this business, especially, by the way, complete side note, putting up the rankings of everybody's numbers in front of you, that's some gangster shit. The concept of, let's be a family, but look, John's better than Sally, kill each other. This is what I mean by purple. This is why this was so exciting for me. I'm like, shit, this company's kind of like me. Like, this is weird. Like, it's like, let's be, like, I created this Pokemon meets Sesame Street intellectual property that I'm building, another one of my avenues to get to my goals. It's going really well. And one of the star characters in that world is Kind Warrior. It's a really brain twist, right? Like, how can you be like a gangster, but be deep in business and be deeply kind? And I know what's happening in the world right now. We're really in this generational warfare of like boomers and Gen X versus Gen Z, and like, it's all very blurry. But it's amazing to me when I look at this, how easy this is to win. It's there if you're willing to go there. It's there if you care. Like, it's just there. Meaning, for example, I have 2,000 employees. I spend, I don't know, 2-3 hours a day on average with one-on-one meetings for 15 minutes at a time with employees at any and every level. This company, when I looked at its growth curve, did anybody else notice like how much revenue it was doing after 10 years and 15 years, and then what happens? The commitment, the DNA of this company, the founder, the way this was built, the biggest opportunity is for you to actually double down on that DNA in a contemporary way. Using the technology of the day. Just literally texting somebody while you're here back on a team that's done a good job and be like, you're doing a good job. I don't think people understand these micro deposits, how much impact they have. It's a big deal. And I know like a lot of the stuff I talk about sounds like grandma talk, but it is 100% the game we're playing, because I want to remind people, people are starting to get more and more options to not work for you. I'm really interested about this. People ask me a lot of like, why did I invest in all these companies before everyone else did? Or why do I, and it's completely based on number 8, which is curiosity. For example, as I started digging in and getting more educated, this concept of the one brand under LinkedIn, and they're gonna make content, and then what are you gonna do about it? I'm pretty sure that the far majority of the people in this room are not gonna commit the level of hours and time into reposting the content that this logo posts on LinkedIn and add their 2 cents and DJing capabilities, because you're not gonna see the direct, quick ROI on it, right? Love it, beautiful. Meanwhile, because I've been following social since 2005, LinkedIn today, from an organic reach and from an ads ROI standpoint, is the most fertile ground that I've seen since Facebook 2012, especially from a B2B standpoint. You cannot comprehend what one thoughtful 2-minute video can do for business development. Instead of you hunting, it starts to come to you if you're committed to content. The reality is playing a marathon in a sprinter's world is always challenging. But to me, I'm very curious about what percentage of this group, and when I leave, there was something I wanted to tell the guys backstage. I'm like, whomever in this room actually goes on the attack this year needs to be the focal point of next year's conference, because how much content y'all make on LinkedIn in 2024, and they're putting you on third base. This is more like a franchisee, franchisor framework than being a pure entrepreneur or being a pure corporation. The fact that they're gonna put you on third base and you just get to be a DJ instead of being an original songwriter is like huge. But it's not easy. Like a lot of you are insecure of how you look on camera and you don't want to deal with negative feedback, say the wrong thing, blah, 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 blah. But if I can leave you with anything besides self-awareness, I couldn't push you harder before, and this is a big thing on curiosity. The biggest thing I'm fascinated by is why people say no before they say maybe. I think about this all the time. It's happening right now with AI. The amount of people in this room that have real opinions about AI because they read one or two headlines or one of their friends said something and have done no homework on it actually is fascinating to me. It's what we do with technology. There's a lot of people in this, actually, let's see how honest this room is, because I see some gray hairs like I have in the crowd. Friends that are a little bit older in here. How many people remember when they said that they would never get a cell phone because their pager and beeper was good enough? Raise your hands, raise them high, tell the truth. And I'm telling you, several are holding it down. How many people here said they would never go on Facebook back in 2006, 7, and 8, and now have Facebook? Raise your hands. A lot more than that. Bunch of fucking liars. I didn't know that about you, Stockton, but I'll take it. The bottom line is, literally electricity was demonized in our society as demons in your house. And people held off and kept doing candles. Technology is always demonized. Every single person here, when they grasp what AI is and what it means for sales, in 5 years we'll be using it every day, just like a search engine, just like an iPhone. This is a big one, you won't lie about this one. How many people said they were never getting an iPhone because their BlackBerry had buttons that they needed to touch them? That's what I think about. What I'm doing right now is trying to give you examples of knowing 98% of this room is gonna underpost on LinkedIn next year and knowing it has a direct correlation of getting new business. We're the fastest growing agency, independent agency in the world in advertising. Our entire business model is my content on LinkedIn. We have the lowest new business overhead. We spend nothing on sponsorships, no bullshit fucking conference events, no booths, nothing. LinkedIn, free. The world is constantly changing. I couldn't encourage you enough to understand what this content means, and what I love about this room is you know your craft. A lot of people struggle with content because they don't know what they're talking about. And opinions are fine, hot takes are fine, but actually going into deep work, like if you, and by the way, not everybody has to do audio or video. Written word is phenomenal. If you're awkward or embarrassed or you don't want to make that jump, I get it. But you can do written word. You do 3 powerful, in detailed sentences, paragraphs on top of content, you will be stunned. I just encourage you greatly, because the only thing that is universal in our society is that whoever has the attention has the leverage. You know what's going on in the world? It's called the media infrastructure in our society has shifted. Have you ever wondered why when there's a coup in a country, a coup d'etat, that while they go to the palace to get the guy or the gal, they also go to the newspaper, radio station, and TV station? Whoever controls the message has the leverage. For the first time in history, we as human individuals have the ability to have scale. I get more consumption on my LinkedIn than CNBC gets viewers. Real. That's absurd. That makes no sense. Not the way we all grew up. This is a massive opportunity, and so I highly encourage, you don't need to do it, but don't just be no before you said maybe. Spend 5, if you want to grow your business, I think it's worth 5 hours of actually really tasting it, because we are unbelievable headline readers in America. You have unlimited opinions about stuff that you've never even spent an hour researching.